Oh, yeah. Well, good day, YouTube. And welcome to, well, it says that it's BDU. It's not really BDU because the Beard Dweebs aren't here. It's my last Saturday night off, and I'm alone. So here we are, just chatting, basically. And we'll see how this goes. Like usual, the like usual, the panel is open to anybody on these nights where we're just shooting the shit and screwing around. So if you want in and you can get a hold of me in one way or another, you will get sent the join link because I won't post it publicly. However, I will give it to pretty much anybody. Not much to talk about. Tonight was the last night of the Vampire Ball. What the Vampire Ball was a industrial goth punk, electronic, basically counterculture music stuff. And the Cantankerous Cook was the DJ for it. And I was supposed to go. I was supposed to do a little bit of door work for him, and I was going to be there to support him for his last night DJing since I was off. And I had 4 different rides set up. And all 4 of them bailed on me. People ask me quite often, like, I've been off for 4 months, why I haven't done anything, and it's stuff like that. I've been off for 4 months, so I don't have a lot of expendable income. So yeah, I could have went and spent 30 or 40 bucks at the bar, but I can't go and spend 30 or 40 bucks at the bar plus $40 each way in taxi rides. So once I had people bail on me, it was okay, I'm done. And since most of my friends in the Falls all work at the same place I work at, they all work on Saturday nights. So it was, what the fuck shall I do? Hey, let's come and talk to you guys. And it's not that you were my last resort or anything. It's just I didn't know what else to do. I'm wearing my old high school football jersey. It's the first time in about 10 years it fit. It doesn't fit good. But it's about the first time in 10 years that it fit. So it was intriguing. It looks like Dullahan is here. What's going on, Greg? Let's see what you have to say. Evening, Chad. Sorry I couldn't answer your call, but I need to be up early-ish in the morning. Ma'am is in the hospital, but we'll watch for a bit if that's okay. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, sir. I'm very sorry to hear that. I hope everything turns out for you. Again, I am legitimately sorry to hear that. Today I actually recorded 2 shower reviews. I uploaded one of them already. I'll probably upload another one in another day or two, maybe even later tonight. I don't know what I'm going to do with that one. But yeah, it was great fun trying to get the old Gorilla Pod to work again. It took a little bit of effort because one of these legs snaps off real easily because I've taken it off. There, that one right there just snaps off right away. And so I had to remember that and use that leg as the back support leg, and use these 2 legs as the ones that held the camera in place. Now, the first video went perfectly fine. The second video took 3 takes. First, I always do my shower reviews with a fucking plastic glass. This time I didn't because I don't know where my plastic glasses are. So I went into the shower with 2 glass glasses. They're both the same. They were both unmarked Nonic pint glasses. And I had one on the ledge of the shower, and I had the other on the soap ledge. And Helga came. Helga likes to jump in the shower with me. So does Boris, really, but Helga does it all the time. And Helga came, she stuck her head in, she looked at me, she stuck her head out, she stuck her head in again and jumped. And when she jumped, she knocked the glass off the edge of the tub, into the tub, broke it into pieces. I had to throw a dog out of the tub and let her run around the house wet as I'm trying to get glass before it goes down the drain because I don't want to have to stick my hand in a drain later on. And you know, so that was take 1. Take 2, the camera kept slipping and falling down. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I can see my junk or not, but I'm not going to let this happen. I'm going to stop and start again. I wouldn't have posted it until I knew whether or not it saw my junk, but I didn't want to deal with that. I'm like, okay, we'll just do it the 3rd time. So third take worked. But that was an intriguing Intriguing time. Intriguing time. Am I going to watch the fight? Probably not, because there's nowhere around me right now that's showing it. And again, I'm not spending much money. I'm trying not to. I had $20 put aside for tonight, which would have gotten me 3 beers, and then the man-child owed me 2 drinks. So well, 3 beers with tips, because you have to tip. You have to tip, right? I work in the tipping industry. You have to tip. So I would have bought my own 3 beers. I would have tipped the other $4 that I would have had out of those beers. And Ken owed me 2 drinks, so I would have had 5 drinks and gotten home. But again, all 4 of my rides fucking bailed on me. Who does that, right? Who bailed on the albino? Fuck you guys for bailing on the albino. What else do we have going on over here? Tiki Leak. Hey, been a while. I know, right? I ain't paying. Yeah, no, that's exactly the same thing. Drinking HB American wheat. Go Cell crashes at 60% power. Ooh. Actually, my cells. I've said this before on video. I have Puron, and Greg and their Dullahan Brewing would know exactly what I'm talking about there. But being raised by old Irish ladies, I don't throw things away. So I have my old Moto G. I have a 2nd gen Moto G. I have my Moto X Play, and then I have my my Moto Z, which is the phone I'm using right now. Now the Moto X crashes all the fucking time, but it was basically on for a year, a year straight. It didn't get turned off much. Like, I charge them at night when I'm sleeping, and then I just wake up and use them. But I use them as my alarm clock, so I don't usually turn them off. Lately, I've been turning the Moto G on and using it as the alarm clock, so I can shut this one down at night. And it is what it is. But I mean, it's funny to me because, yeah, cell phones are our lives now. We've used them for everything, and yeah, they're not the greatest. They're not the greatest items out there. This one, I had to put a case on this. I don't know if anyone's handled a Moto Z before, but they're so fucking thin. I was afraid it was just going to break in my pocket. But that is what it is. What do we got going on here? Penis. Thanks, Chris. Thanks. Have I left Facebook? No. Think about what I am on here, Greg, and you'll be able to find me. I am an albino rhino. Am I not? Am I not? Basically, I've masked my name a little bit so that my ex-wife's friends don't find me. Yeah. So I'm there. I'm just not fully open. Chris, are you at work right now? What are you doing talking? And if you're not at work right now, why aren't you hanging out, you fucking piece of shit? That's all I have to say. There we go. I don't know. What else do we have to chat about right now? Almost no food left in the house. I've been eating all the old shit that's been left in the... What the fuck do you have? Okay, then. Anyway, again, I've been eating everything that's been left in the house, so it's been intriguing. The things that you can make up when you're going through what's left in the house, because that's what it is, right? It's what I would always buy groceries. I would buy groceries all the time, and my ex-wife did not like cooking. She liked taking money and going to anywhere that was fast food. Probably one of the reasons I've lost so much weight is now that she's gone, I'm not eating fast food. So we had freezers. We had 3 freezers full of shit. We had the chest freezer in the basement. We had the freezer up here on the fridge, and we had the freezer on my fridge downstairs, the beer fridge. So yeah, some of the meat's been fucking 3 years old. I don't care. It's freezer burnt. I'll still eat it. It's not bad. It's just not tasting good. But yeah, so I've been eating down that. I think I'm down to broccoli and some pork chops in the fridge in the freezer. So that's good. That's good. Say hi to Natasha for me there, Christoph. Yeah, so that was the way it was. TV. We've talked about TV on here a lot too over the last few months. I know Chris keeps telling me I have to watch Defenders. I haven't gotten to that yet. I'm almost done watching Family Guy season 15. I think that's the season that actually has the Michelob Ultra Dragon Fruit Peach reference that has brought a lot of people to the channel over the last year. I started watching Futurama again. I've never really watched it. I watched a few episodes here and there, but I started watching it again. And it gives me a chuckle every now and then. The shows that I try to watch all the time, like Black Sails, is done now. But it was a good series. If anyone hasn't watched Black Sails, good pirate series. Been watching Ballers when it comes out. Dark Matter, I really like. Black Mirror. What other newer shows have I been watching lately? Well, Game of Thrones, of course. Wrecked. A buddy of mine who used to mud. Now, for those of you that don't know mudding, it's probably one of the biggest fucking geekiest things you can do. When I was a teenager, I mudded, and it was a multi-user dungeon. Basically, it's like a big MMORG. Basically a big multiplayer game, but it's all text-based. And one of my buddies that I made from there, his name's Pat, and Pat's an actor now, and Pat's a giant guy. He's like 6'7" and like 380 pounds. He's actually in Wrecked, which is the only reason I started watching it. He relented to tell me that in 2 seasons, he's only on the screen for like a minute, but he's still in it, so I watched it. It's basically like Lost, but a comedy, and they're not dead, they're alive. But it's like Lost, their plane crashes on a deserted island, and it is what it is. I'm just turning that off to come back here. Layla, you know what? If you know, back then Katie Sagal was still actually hot. So even if she was just a real person, it was Katie Sagal, she would have been okay. Katie Sagal actually got better looking as she aged, I think. But then, I mean, things like Married with Children purposely made her look bad. But like, she was so much better looking in Sons of Anarchy, like 20 years after Married with Children, than she looked in Married with Children. That's Ghost in the Shell, the new Ghost in the Shell movie. I have it downstairs. I got to watch that too. Other shows though that I've been watching lately, I don't even know. What have you guys been watching lately? Preacher. Of course, I watched Preacher. I did watch the first like 6 episodes of Into the Badlands, and I liked it. But then my ex-wife didn't like it, so I never watched it again. So I have to catch up on that. Same with Man in the High Castle. I enjoyed the first episode of that, but she hated it, so we stopped watching it. I got to get back to that now. I don't even know what's even out there anymore. Like, I just turn on the box. I go to most popular and I look at what's on there, and I decide whether or not I want to watch stuff like that. I watched the first 3 episodes of American Gods, which Chris keeps telling me to watch. It's enjoyable. I just haven't gotten around to watching the rest of it because episodes from shows I actually was watching were caught up and I had to watch them. Yeah, I'm curious how much of Game of Thrones is going to be cut since they only have like 9 episodes left. There's nobody watching anymore. That's great. I'm glad that I've chased everybody away already. Yeah, there's nothing really to talk about. There's nothing to talk about unless you guys talk with me. There's a couple bits of beer news out there, but and I'll quickly throw them out, but a lot of this stuff we'll talk about again on Wednesday. But there's a new brewery in Alberta, Origin Malting and Brewing. It's going to open with a Scottish ale, a grisette, a black IPA, a chocolate porter, an IPA, and a French saison, and a pilsner ale. A Pilsner ale. Okay, so like a fucking Kolsch? A Kolsch? You started with a Kolsch but called it a Pilsner ale? Whatever. Whatever. We'll talk about that with Lee on Wednesday. Conspiracy Theory Brewing is now open in Ottawa. Ottawa has a lot of breweries now. They're becoming Toronto quickly. What did they open up with? Brands currently available in 473 milliliter cans include Area 51 Cream Ale, Chemtrails American Pale Ale, Grassy Knoll Wheat, NWO Hybrid Hop Ale, and Stage Landing Blonde. No official business hours have been set yet, but customers are encouraged to phone, email, or contact the brewery via social media to arrange a visit. Okay, that doesn't sound sketchy at all. Backstage Brewing is opening soon in Nova Scotia. So Lee will have another brewery. They're going to have Hangover Helper, which is an American Pale. They're going to have the Headliner, which is a big, juicy IPA. The Gemini, which is a double IPA at over 100 IBUs. And the None More Black IPA. Nova Scotia, is Nova Scotia even, like, Lee isn't here, and that's why I'm going to talk to him about it on Wednesday, but I don't even think Nova Scotia is that big on IPAs from the people I've talked to, and I don't know if they're really a place where a brewery can open up and only serve IPAs. I don't know if that's feasible for them. Obviously, that they're doing it, so they're going to do okay, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I watch most of my stuff online now too. Am I excited for the new IT movie? I didn't even know there was a new IT movie. Yes, Greg, I got the message. I'll look at it in a bit. Let me quickly just look up this IT movie. What you talking about, sir? I only have the camera off right now because, again, my face is close to the TV. Close to them all. 1 second. Oh, you mean it? Okay, it. Yeah, I'm just an idiot and read it as IT and thought about other things. I don't know how I feel about. Stop barking. I don't know how I feel about it because I mean it just seems to be overdone. I mean there's the It TV series, there's the original It movie, there's the remake It movie. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. I'm excited about it, yet I'm not at the same time. Like I enjoyed it, but I don't know what they're going to do with it. The movie's called It, and there's a lot of its when you talk about it. You say it quite a lot when you're talking about it. I think Pennywise actually kind of looks creepy in this movie, and I'll give him that. But I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it. Not 100. There's a lot of comments. Let's just turn this off and come over here for a second. It was 2 capitals. Chris, he spelt it like this, okay? He spelt it like that. If he spelled it like this, I would have probably gotten it. But like this, no, I thought, information technology. What the fuck type of movie is that? But yes, Pennywise. Yeah, I know Pennywise. Ooh, that's a B on my monitor. Ah, got it, motherfucker. Killed it with the fucking. It wasn't a bee. It was a wasp. I don't kill bees. I just shoo them out of my house. Just anything with a stinger that lands on my monitor has to die. But yeah, I just killed it on my monitor and smushed guts on my monitor. I'm gonna have to clean my monitor now. Yeah, and I killed it with the piece of paper that has my next court date on it. That was smart of me because I have to keep that piece of paper. But it was the only thing near me. Dead bug. Yep. So what else can we talk about? Blueberry. What was the best beer at the Niagara College thing? Well, Brad, good to see you. What was the best beer at the Niagara College thing? Let's see. There was a couple really good ones. Chili Sweet Tooth Invalid was really good. It was a mint chocolate stout, and it tasted basically like mint chocolate chip ice cream. It was awesome. It was very sweet though, so if you didn't like sweet beers, it wasn't really for you. What else was there? There was the Lassie. Lassie was a New England IPA. It was a really good New England IPA. It was all the juice. There was Rudweizen, which was a beet wheat. A beet wheat. It tasted. It was the beet wheat was probably the best and worst beer there at the same time. It tasted just like carbonated borscht, cold carbonated borscht. And that was awesome and horrendous at the same time. And I think it was probably the most imaginative beer there. There was a couple sours that were okay. There was a lot of pale ales. Everybody was doing pale ales and stuff. They usually do. Like commercially, that stuff's going to sell, but this is supposed to be, you know, a challenge to get a scholarship and this and that. You'd think you'd be more imaginative than here's my pale ale. But I mean, in all honesty, the beers that usually win the scholarships are usually just very easygoing beers. I remember when Knowledge's Porter won the scholarship, and it was just a porter. It was just your standard English porter. It was the fucking best standard English porter I've had in a very long time. But it was just a standard English porter. And I'm trying to keep my football jersey's name off the screen because, you know, it ended up being a name that got canceled. Oh shit! I just caught my ears. But yeah, it was just like that. I'm really disappointed that I'm stuck here. I want to go to St. Catharines. I wish I was working so I could have had money to go to St. Catharines. I just, you know, it's just that. Oh, I almost didn't know that was you, Greg, since your picture's changed. Well, like I said, I'll look at that in a bit. Yeah, who do I think would win in the Mayweather-McGregor fight? I personally think it's going to be Mayweather, but that's me. I really love that I keep getting pictures right now of my cousin who I haven't seen in years from all over Niagara Falls. She's actually just down the street from me right now, and she hasn't come to visit me. But then she's on my ex-wife's side, so that's why she hasn't come to visit me. What has been your favorite beer of the summer there, Brad? What was the beer that you drank? For anybody there, there's apparently two of you there watching. What was the best beer you've had all summer? For me personally, what would have been the best beer for me this summer? I don't even know. I haven't drank all that much this summer. I haven't drank all that much since Christy left, to be honest. I drank an entire 2-4 of Old Vienna over the last week. Not something to be proud of. Best beer of the summer for me. I don't even know. Probably something from the Niagara. Actually, you know what? Probably the Key Lime Radler at Plan B. That was probably the beer of the summer for me. Yellow Belly Citra Pale Ale. Never had anything from Yellow Belly. I have a can of Juicy Ass sitting downstairs. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Beers that I'm brewing. We have, 10 breweries lined up. We're going to start brewing in late October, early November, and it's going to go through until May. So I'll probably be brewing at a brewery once every 2 or 3 weeks. Hoping still to find like 1 or 2 more breweries, but if I don't, I don't. It was the first year we were doing it, and I didn't even really try, to be honest. I sent out a bunch of emails just to the breweries I have relationships with. So the breweries that I have friends with that are either owners or head brewers and stuff like that. So not even a whole big list. Like there's 260 breweries in Ontario. I sent an email to about 25 of them, and 10 of them came back with yes. 3 of them came back with, we'll try and make it work, and the other ones either said no or didn't answer, and I didn't send again, even though I know that sometimes with breweries you have to send a couple times to get an actual answer from them. So in all honesty, for not really trying and for throwing together the email on a whim and throwing together the idea on a whim, I think the turnout's going to be pretty good. And I have a mixture of very local breweries to larger, not so local breweries. So that's always a great thing, is knowing that you have breweries that are bigger that are still willing to support you as well. Like Nickelbrook will be brewing at the Burlington location. And we're going to do a funk beer of some type. So we've even talked about possibly barrel aging it. Whether or not we do that, I don't know. With Wellington, we talked about a whole bunch of things. I think we're going to try. Well, they're going to let me brew with George Eagleson, so who knows what the hell we'll come up with, since he did the smoked meat asparagus beer, and he's all about the really fucked up combinations. So who knows what we'll do with him. We're talking about doing like a Viva Puff beer with Plan B. Cayman Kettles talked about doing like 2 or 3 beers and then having a tap night at the brewery because they're so small. Brimstone, we haven't really discussed at all. We just know the time of year we're doing it. We don't know exactly what we're doing yet. Exchange, we have chatted back and forth a little bit. The fact that the Exchange probably has the most decorated brewmaster of all the places I'm going to, being Sam from Jolly Pumpkin. I don't know what we're going to do. I'm probably going to look like a fucking novice beside that man. And I have no clue what we're going to want to do. I mean, it all matters, right? What else do we have? Mash Paddle, we've talked a little bit about a fruit IPA of some type. Black Swan, we've talked about doing something with nitro. So I mean, we have conversed with a lot of the different breweries on what we're thinking about doing. Whether or not it actually ends up being the exact thing that we do, I don't know. Again, it's all up in the air. And why is there things flashing on my phone? 1 second, guys. No, I don't care about that. That's just a weather warning. I thought maybe I was going to get lucky and somebody was coming to get me. I thought maybe, baby. But alas, no, I was wrong. So let's just turn this off. There we go. Oh, there's a yellow belly there? I didn't know that there was a yellow belly on your side, too. I guess I should have figured it. It's a fairly common name. I mean, yellow belly. There was a new brewery opening up recently. I think I might have the Canadian Beer News open still. I'm going to quickly scan through that because there's a new brewery opening up that I know there was a fairly large, well-known brewery in the U.S. known as the same thing. And I think there was a brewery as well somewhere else in Canada known as the same thing. So it made me kind of smile when I saw that because somebody's going to get sued is what I thought. I just don't remember the name of it right now, which is kind of sad since, I'm an idiot. I'm not even drinking and I'm an idiot. A little bit of beer news that was intriguing to me. A little bit of beer news that was very intriguing to me. So let me come over here and turn off my camera so I can read it. And again, we'll kind of chat about this on Wednesday, most likely as well. Side Launch has terminated their president and CEO, Garnet Pratt Siddle. Now, Garnet is a very intriguing little lady. She is the lady that actually came out on the Sexist Beer Label talks with Ben from Ben's beer blog, Ben Johnson, and said that she let a beer label go through that she didn't want and she didn't understand why. And this, but anyway, Side Launch Brewing has terminated the company's president and CEO, Garnet Pratt Siddle, with immediate effect. According to the article, the announcement to staff and shareholders from Andy Wilder, chairman of the board of directors, said the board decided that Side Launch would be best served with a new leader and that It is normal that an organization grows, the skills and processes needed to manage the organization changes. Another source is anonymously quoted as saying that the split was due to fundamental disagreement over how to run the business. Pratt Siddle was the primary founder of the company, and during her tenure, Side Launch was named Brewery of the Year in 2016 at the Canadian Brewing Awards. She was also elected to the chair of the board of directors for the Ontario Craft Brewers last year, and was the first woman to serve in that role. The search for a new CEO is set to begin immediately, and in the meantime, the board has named Al Stewart, managing partner of the Pilot Tavern in Toronto, and a board member at both the Bloor Yorkville Business BIA and Jazz FM to the position on an interim basis. So she actually, see, this is the thing I don't get when people found a brewery. If you're going to found a brewery and you're going to have a whole bunch of shareholders and all that, maybe you should find a way to make it so that you stay involved in that no matter what. There's too many people that get involved in a brewery and end up getting forced out. And they were part of the founding fathers of the brewery, or founding mothers in this case, and they didn't want out and they got forced out. Look at Kevin Somerville. Kevin Somerville was the brewmaster at Oast House. He had a fundamental disagreement with the other two owners, and they pushed him out. Now, his biggest problem when he got pushed out was the fact that he had a non-competition clause in his contract, so he couldn't actually go to another brewery or open another brewery. He was just forced out of business. And you are one of the guys that started it. So she was terminated. She probably got a payout, but like, how many shares did she have? Did she get paid for each share? Like, what ended up happening with it? Does she get to keep her shares? Just different. I don't understand the entire way their business is set up. Their business is set up a little bit differently than a lot of other places that have a CEO and everything else. But it's intriguing to me that a brewery would decide that she wasn't good enough to keep them moving forward when they are winning awards left and right. They're spreading out across Canada. I heard they're spreading out into the US. I don't know if they actually have or not. They're pretty much available everywhere in Ontario. They have probably the best adjunct lager in the craft business. They probably have one of the best wheat beers in the craft business. They have a solid dark. Like they have a fairly good core set of brands. Now, the only thing I would say with them is that Mike isn't really left to really experiment. They have their core set, and that's it. But it's just strange to me that they would let her go. Something must have happened, but it's still strange to me that they let her go. See if there's any new comments while I've been blabbering here. Oh, there's a couple. Wexford, okay, Yellow Belly, i.e. Kyle Martin. They canned the PC leader. Sounds good. Brad Jansen, I find side launch beers to be bland at best, so maybe someone new at the top is needed. Well, that's the thing, Brad. Have you ever been to side launch? Have you been out there in Collingwood? They have a gigantic facility, and they have huge capacity. And their entire thing was to be basically like that craft beer that everybody knows, that craft beer that is everywhere, that anyone could drink. And they did that. I mean, that's kind of what they hired Denizen for, was to go and brew. Like, most of the recipes there were Denizen's own recipes. Like Denizen's wheat is side launch wheat. He used a lot of his own recipes when they started up. And they use their full capacity for those beers. They do so much of that Mountain Crest lager that it's not funny. But I do know what you're saying, and I fully agree with you. Their beer is bland at best. But I'm curious if she was holding them back, or if the people that fired her were holding them back. And we'll see in the future what ends up happening with whoever the new CEO is. But like I said, her biggest thing was she was angry when they had that beer go out that had the silhouette of a woman on it. It was the tangerine beer that they did, one of the only one-offs that they've done. And yeah, it was what it was. Yeah, that's the thing, Brad. Yeah, they're in every single LCBO basically in the province, and pretty much every beer store too. To be honest, they're everywhere. I'm just quickly running down these things, seeing if I can find the guys that I was thinking about that are going to have. Oh, there was another. There was another one. For those of you that are friends of, say, Jordan St. John on Facebook, there was a little bit of a shoving match between Hard Knocks. There we go, Hard Knocks. There's a Hard Knocks in the U.S. It's a very large brewery too. So I was curious about that one and how long it'll be till they get a cease and desist. Anyway, what I was going to say is Kensington Brewery just opened up their brewery, and that's great for them. I'm excited for them. I want to go and see what it's like, but there was a little bit of a shoving match because Ben being Ben dropped the thing of it's funny that the brewery now has a Labatt executive on the board, and the guy that founded it is just back running his restaurant. And what that was, for anyone that didn't know, Kensington Brewing Company was originally started by I can't remember his name, but he's the guy that owned the burger bar in Toronto, and he's back to running restaurants. And Emma Livingston, isn't that her name? Emma Livingston, I believe. I'm gonna check. I have her. Anyway, wasn't Emma Livingston. What the last name's Livingston. I just can't remember the first name. Elizabeth Livingston. It doesn't even matter. It starts with an E, and it's Livingston is her last name. Anyway, she is the president and CEO of Kensington, and it was funny to see the argument of a Labatt exec is on your board of directors and is in charge of the company, and now you're open, because she was never like exec is like she was a Labatt employee. She was probably about middle management, I would say, at the most. And it's just funny to see him just fully trying to paint that picture because of the fact that she was an analyst. She was an analyst. She was a sales analyst. That's what she was. So to see somebody actually trying to make it out as really bad, that she was there and now they're opening, just kind of made me giggle because, I mean, yeah, I get it. You're a big craft beer fan. You want to support craft beer and you want to shit on the old other guys. Well, regardless of what you want to do, the big guys do breed one thing when it comes to their execs and their managers and all that. They breed great business people. Cameron's got bought out by Bill Coleman. He was a upper management at Molson. Was it Molson or Labatt? I believe Molson, if I remember my interviews correctly with him. The head brewer at Lagershed at Sean and Ed. He used to be the head brewer at Molson, one of the assistant brewers at Steam Whistle. He was a head brewer at Labatt. Like these guys can breed people that know what they're doing, regardless of whether or not you like it. They can breed people that know what they're doing, and to sit there and shit on somebody for actually putting those people in a position to do good work is funny to me. I see a new. It's Joe. Do I even care to read it? It's Joe. Brad first. I can respect what they do as a business. It's way good to see a little guy get big. I'm just not a big fan of their product. See, that's the thing. They didn't really get big. They were built big to begin with, and they just didn't have capacity filled at first until they started getting orders. That building is gigantic. It's beautiful too. But yeah, it was intriguing. What's this? The Clueless Drinker is doing a live show right now, Chad. It's the Battle of the Albino Friday Night Daddy strap match at the Palace Super. Whatever. And he probably has a lot more viewers and a lot more people than I do, Joe. And really, I don't care. I mean, like I said, I'm doing this because I needed to just waste time before I go to bed now because I have nothing to do. My night was planned. I actually was vlogging all day about going to see Paul, and then shit happened, and I'm not going to see Paul now. That'll make at least one person happy because she didn't want me there anyway. But yeah, it is what it is. Again, anyone can join that wants to. All you need is a microphone and a Google Plus account, and I can send you the join link if you want to come and chat. I'll probably just ramble on for a few more minutes and then get offline since nobody's here. It's kind of boring when it's just you. It's kind of boring when it's just you, especially when the viewership isn't really there and nobody's really talking. But we'll see what goes on. We'll see what goes on. And like tonight was a weird night because there's so much stuff going on all at once. First off, there's Paul's Vampire Ball, which is where most of my friends are. There's the Matt Good concert, the free Matt Good concert up the street at the convention center. There is the fight. There is apparently the Clueless Drinker as well as me doing live shows. Yeah, it's an intriguing night. There's a lot of things going on, and I'm sitting on my ass in a chair at my house. It reminds me about why I'm so happy to be blind. No, it doesn't matter. Like I said, if I wasn't paying like $800 a month in child support, I would have been in St. Catharines already. I would have bit the bullet and paid the $80 to do the round trip taxiing. But yeah, it can't happen now. Oh, look at that. They are at the Matt Good show instead of with Paul. That's going to make Paul angry. Just scrolling down Facebook right now, and there's a lot of people at the convention center, apparently. A lot of people. A lot of people. A lot of people I know. Is there any more comments? Let's just check. Yeah, there's a couple. Sorry, Chad, I couldn't join in. No worries there, Greg. You should have come over to Peter's chat. It's been going for a few hours. Let me know. And he didn't send me a link. That's what I didn't even know he was up. I don't care. Fuck him. He didn't send me a link. Fuck you, Peter. Fuck you, Peter. Oh, Brad, I understand how that feels. Actually, anytime I pick a restaurant, say I pick any restaurant, even if it's my favorite restaurant, and we go in, even if the wait's half an hour, you know what? There's so many restaurants within even a 5-minute walk of each different restaurant that I'm not waiting for half an hour. I'm going somewhere else. I'm not waiting for any time because then I still have to sit down. I have to decide what I'm ordering. I have to order it. Then it has to come to me. My time is more important than to stand in a line waiting for a table. I'll go somewhere else and sit down right away. But yeah, Cowbell's huge apparently. Like the fanfare for them is apparently huge. Here's one that I've done a few times now. I've gone to Plan B a few times in St. Catharines. Their website has a certain time that they're apparently open. Yes, sir, Malted. So yeah, their website has a bunch of times that they're apparently open, and their door has those same times that they're apparently open. And then you go to Plan B to go in and have a beer, and they're not open. And you text their owner because he's on your text list and on your Facebook list and everything else. And you're like, John, when the fuck do you open tonight? And he goes, 7. And you go, John, your door says 5, and so does your website. Oh, well, we open at 7. Well, I don't care what time you're telling me you open at. Your door and your fucking website say this. How about you fucking change them? Oh, well, you know. No, you fucking change them. You fucking change them. No, Peter, you don't get to come here and say that stuff. No, you didn't even invite me. Fuck you, Peter. Fuck you, Peter. I love you, Peter. Yeah, exactly, Brad. If there's no table ready for me, I'm out. I'm gone. I just walk. I let my feet do the talking. I'll go somewhere else because I mean, there's so many places available, especially when you're in a bigger city and you're not at one of the weird restaurants in the middle of nowhere. If you're at even if you just want to go to a shitty restaurant, say like Kelsey's, you go to the Kelsey's in St. Catharines. Kelsey's is busy. Okay, well, there's a Perkins across the street. There's a Montana's across the street. There's a Pizza Hut a few minutes down the street. There's there's a Chinese place just down the street. There's just so many choices, and it just doesn't make sense to wait in line. Hell, if I really want to, I can just go to a Subway and get something right away. But I don't want to do that. And yeah, I sent you the link on Facebook there, Malted. What do we have here? We still got to walk through Cowbell. The place is gorgeous. Everything looks like it was fully thought out. Good night, Greg. Good night. Yeah, like they seem to do their stuff properly. I've seen a lot of pictures as they were building the place. It seemed right. But yeah, it was intriguing to see the pictures of the place being built, and they have that catwalk too. Did you get to walk on the catwalk? I know that when they did the grand opening, that girl that plays the cowbells was trying very hard to play cowbells there. I don't know if they ended up letting it happen or not, but I know she was trying. I don't even know what else to talk about. I'm out of everything right now, man. I'm just bored out of my mind, and it's my last Saturday night off, and I'm sitting here talking to you guys. That's where I'm at. What do we got going on here? Oh, drunken one loves me. Peter. He's with Peter. One second, guys. Yeah. So that's yeah. And then I just have to send this right here, and then who knows what I'm doing? Who knows what I'm doing? I don't even know what I'm doing. I never know what I'm doing. There's a lot of cop cars going by right now, though. A lot of cop cars going by. And this guy back on. There we go. I'm back. I'm back. Send it to your email. You think I have your email? I don't think you've given me your email. Let me see. Maybe you did. Maybe I'm just stupid. Maybe I'm just stupid. Let's scroll up this way. Okay, right there. Yeah, you did. Okay, I'm just stupid. Okay, you guys get to look at my forehead for a bit longer here. Sorry. I'm trying not to give you my forehead, but you're getting my forehead. Compose. Okay, now I need to come back here and get the link again because things can't be ever easy. Bang, 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 bang. Yeah, so it was, that doesn't look right, but that's what we'll send. If it doesn't work, we'll send another one. Anyway, what was I going to say? What was I going to say? I'm from Nova Scotia. I says things. You used was the handicap bathroom good? Was the handicap bathroom good? Because I want to go there just to do a bathroom review, really. Basically, the main thing I want to do is go and do a bathroom review. Chris F. Grave is sending me some Facebook messages too. For those of you that don't know who Chris F. Grave is, he's the guy that did those few non-alcoholic reviews with me in the backyard.
Hey, Albino.
Good day, sir. Yeah, you have to stop the.
Hey, Albino. How are you today?
Just people.
Stop the. Hey, Albino. How are you today? What's going on?
You have the feed playing. I just muted you for right now, but yeah, you have the actual YouTube video playing, so that's echoing back into everything.
Hello?
Yo,
There you go.
there we are.
Sorry about that, my friend.
No worries.
I've had a few beers. I just finished my live show where previously, just before I joined you, I did a live show for the McGregor-Mayweather fight, just with some friends, and we had some people from Scotland, and one of them was really, really wasted and called himself the Irish something on my channel. So that was really fun and dramatic. And I had a bunch of my viewers get really offended, and I felt really bad. And it was uncomfortable moments of silence throughout the time. How are you tonight? Thank you for inviting me on your channel, by the way. Big fan of your show.
I am doing peachy keen, like I said. Really, I wouldn't have even been on here. I would be drunk in St. Catharines right now if plans went according to plan.
Are you a McGregor fan or a Mayweather fan?
Neither, but I think Mayweather will win.
So you don't like either of them? They're both horrible people, and
yes, yeah. No, when it came to, like, I watched MMA when it first started before real weight classes and all that. Like, I was like a Dan Severn, Ken Shamrock, Tank Abbott fan, right? Like,
so you watched it back when there was no rules and they could like stomp on their faces, and yeah, I remember that back when it was like you'd fight 3 fights in one night, kind of thing like that.
And what was it? Harold Howard was in it. Harold Howard was a guy from here in the Niagara Falls area, who Harold Howard was a little bit crazy. He kind of looked like Dog the Bounty Hunter, and he went to his wife. His ex-wife was breaking up with him, and he went to she worked at the casino, and he went to his ex-wife's mother's house, beat her mother with a hammer. Went to her sister's house, beat her sister with a hammer, and then drove his truck through the front door of the casino.
Kind of like a Chris Benoit kind of style thing?
Kind of like that, except he didn't kill people.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know what's up with fighters and they lose their minds. Me, honestly, I'm not a fan of either of them, like you say, but I would still, out of the two, one has an ego, and one has physically assaulted his many wives. So I would like to see the person who seems to enjoy hitting women get his head kicked in over the guy who just has a really loud mouth and is annoying at the time. So I'm hoping McGregor catches him with a surprise left and takes him out.
Well, there was an intriguing article out today about how right now McGregor, because this is basically a mixed rules fight. It's not an MMA fight and it's not a boxing fight.
No, it's a boxing.
Is it full on boxing? Okay, so they were wrong when they were writing that article. So the whole thing was about how McGregor technically, according to lineage, holds the from the 1997 the WWF's Brawl for All championship. Because everybody that's beaten, say, Bart Gunn after that, well, Bart Gunn got beat by Butterbean, and then Butterbean got beat by an MMA fighter, and then that guy going down the list until McGregor actually holds the title now, if you follow the lineage.
Yeah. That's nuts. What do you, can I ask you a question?
Certainly.
What are you drinking? I'm sorry, because I caught you in the middle of your show.
Right now, I'm not actually drinking anything.
Oh, well, I am drinking, you might know this as a beer fanatic. You know me, normally if you see my channel, I'm a whiskey guy, but I'm drinking Boreal Hus, which is red.
Yeah, I actually enjoy that one.
I love it. It's so cheap, and it's awesome. Like,
I've had, what was it? I think Guy sent me like 7 different Boreal beers, and they were all good.
How was the stout? I haven't tried the stout.
I enjoyed the stout.
Yeah? Does it have a nice fruitiness to it, or coffee?
No, it was more coffee-ish.
Espresso?
Yeah. No, I enjoy that brewery. Simple Malt is another brewery in Quebec that I really like a lot of beers from.
Well, I love Bose from Ontario, and one thing me and you have in common, even though I'm from Montreal, I'm a huge Ottawa Senators fan. So that's one of the other reasons why I'm a big fan of your show.
And see, I live south of Toronto now, so I'm not supposed to be an Ottawa Senators fan. You're only allowed to like Toronto down here, and I fuck.
Well, the problem with me is I lived in Toronto and I lived in Montreal, and I was a Nordiques fan growing up. And when the Nordiques left, I could go for an American team, which is sacrilege in Canada, or I could have went for the Leafs or the Canes. But given the fact that I was a Nordiques fan and I used to get into fights in elementary school with Canadian fans, and when I went to Toronto, they'd call me Pepper, or Frog, even though I was an Anglophone, which is funny. So I hated the Toronto Maple Leaf fans. And then Ottawa came up with a team, so I was like, I'm just gonna start going for Ottawa.
Yeah, before the Senators existed, I was actually sacrilegious. I was a Pittsburgh Penguins fan, and it was one I liked the original logo they had, and all my favorite players were on the team, like Tom Barrasso, the man that made the fucking rule about kicking the net off the moorings. You know, every single time somebody was about to score on him, he'd kick the net off the moorings. Oh no! I loved that team. And then you had Ulf and Kjell Samuelsson, and it was a great team.
Dude, I'm so surprised. I'm really happy that you let me come on your show, by the way. I've been a big watcher for a really long time, and you guys, you're really humble, and it's really cool considering how many subscribers you have, and your channel's it's just a really good channel, and you're really well respected in the beer drinking community and just the booze community altogether. Like, I'm part of the whiskey fabric, not really part of the beer tubers fabric, or I don't know what you guys call it, the beer tubers community. And honestly, out of all the beer tubers, I like you and Lee Russell are really fun to watch.
The king of beer tube? The king of beer tube, Lee
I like Lee Russell because he kind of reminds me of me. I'm kind of the black sheep asshole of my community, and Lee Russell kind of reminds me a bit of me in that community. They've learned to accept me, even though I'm not sitting on a leather-bound couch smoking a cigar and being a total twat. But I'm trying to show them that whiskey is a blue-collar drink and not cognac, and to stop treating it like it. But it's hard. It's developed a really snooty reputation, and I want it to go away.
So first and foremost, Brad, I'm glad that the washroom was clean. I'm glad the washroom was clean. I really wish I had gotten to see it. I need to do a washroom review there. And yes, good day again, Al. We were talking back and forth on Facebook, and I told you, like, if I'm drinking spirits, it's either a whiskey of some type or it's gin. And that's basically the two hard spirits I enjoy. I hate vodka, but I gave myself alcohol poisoning on it, and even the smell of it makes my stomach turn. I was a stupid 18-year-old, and my friends dared me $100 that I couldn't drink 326ers of Smirnoff. So I drank the 326ers of Smirnoff and ended up in a hospital. But I still made $100, so that you know.
That was on your 18th birthday?
Yes.
Dude, we're like related. I did the same stupid mistake as you, but with Southern Comfort.
Oh, so cool.
I went into an alcoholized coma on my 18th birthday because in Quebec, your 18th birthday is your legal drinking age, and I drank an entire bottle and a half of Southern Comfort, and I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning with a catheter in my penis in a hospital bed, and they told me I was in a coma for 2 days, and I was speaking in Irish.
Unluckily for myself, I was awake when they shoved the catheter in my penis.
Oh, I was out. My mom was sitting next to me with a face of pure disgust, going, imagine an elder Italian woman. She was staring at me and going, "You're a fucking idiot." That's all she was like. It was pretty bad.
Now, I also remember when I had turned 18, it was a few months later, but me and my buddies got on the bus. We took the bus across the bridge to Hull. We bought a 2-4 of Boomerang. I don't even know if Boomerang is still made in the U.S. In Quebec. If it's still, do they still have Boomerang? You know?
The last time I remember Boomerang was to get laid when I was a kid. We used to buy a girl a 40 of Boomerang and a tornado because it cost like $4.
Okay, so we went across. We walked to the casino. We went into the casino because somehow they didn't ID my friends, but they ID'd me, and I was the only guy with a full beard and was of age. Then we went to a Dépendure. We went to the corner store, and we bought the 2-4 of lemon Boomerang, and we bought about 6 bags of Doritos. And we opened up the Doritos, and we emptied the Doritos into a big food safe bag, and then we put all the bottles from the Boomerang into the Doritos bags so that we could bring them back across to Ontario since we weren't legal to drink here. And then we're sitting on the rugby field drinking, And I was, fairly drunk, and I stood up and I threw a bottle, and I'm like, "Look, it's not a boomerang." It didn't come back, thinking I was funny. Now the karma of the whole thing is we played a rugby game the next day, and I actually got tackled onto that bottle and got myself cut some pretty fierce.
Oh,
But I was a rugby player, a football player, and a wrestler.
Nice. I played goalie and not in soccer, hockey, and I played football, but just football.
Nice. I'm just looking at comments right now. What do we have? Al had the Get It the F and the Mandarino. I've never had the Mandarin one there, Al. Brad, waking up with a tube connected to my dong is my worst nightmare. Matt DRP, how is it going? Not drinking anything right now. Might go down to the brewery down the road from me. Folding Mountain Brewery. Pretty nice having a brewery as my neighbor. Yeah, I have a brewery that I could walk to, but it's fucking shit, so I don't do it.
We got a really good one. We got in Montreal. We got Saint Ambroise right next to us, and they just make just spectacular product. Even though they've grown a lot and they've gone kind of nationwide, and even in some parts of the United States, I still consider them just a really good quality story of a microbrewery did it right.
Yes.
They didn't fuck up. They didn't go all Labatt and bullshit. They didn't go all Sleeman's. They stayed true, man. I don't know. I love them.
No, I think I have a couple beers in the fridge up here I could drink, but they're shitty Canadian brewed Land Shark, and I don't really want them. But I might go and get them.
Go ahead, man. I'm drinking. Like I said, tonight I had a couple of whiskeys. I just did a review on the Glendronach Batch 6, which is like a cask strength, and now I'm just drinking some Laboriels.
No, Chris, closest to me is Niagara Brewing Company on Clifton Hill. Taps is further away. Taps is a further walk than Niagara Brewing Company. And no, Al, there's nothing really local that serves anything. You live down the street from me. You know what's around here. I could go across the street to fucking. I could go across the street to Whiskey Nick's and get fucking roofied again. That's not going to happen.
You got roofied?
Yeah, that's another good story. Or I could go up the street to Cool Hand Luke's and maybe get shot or stabbed. Like, there's not choices here, right? There's nowhere to go. At least Cool Hand Luke's has Old Vienna. If I really want to get a macro beer, I don't mind.
What part of Ontario are you living in that you're gonna get stabbed?
I live in Niagara Falls.
Well, come on. The only thing that's gonna happen to you in Niagara Falls is you're gonna pay $25 for a Baconator at Wendy's.
Okay, Chris, I'm going to Google Maps right now to find out which one is closer, since you're arguing with me.
I didn't know Niagara Falls. Okay. I didn't know Niagara Falls was so violent. I thought Niagara Falls was like this peaceful little romantic city.
No, there's not. Well, there's some bad spots in Niagara Falls.
Well, I know it's mafia, and that's what I've heard. I've heard like.
I'm not going to deny or yeah, I'm not going to say anything about that one. Okay, so you're saying Taps is closest to me, Chris. So Taps on Queen. Taps on Queen is a 12-minute drive, 5.4 kilometers. So now let's do Niagara Brewing Company, which I think is much closer.
Can I say hi to In the Basement?
You certainly can.
He's never really.
So you're sort of right, but sort of wrong at the same time, Chris. That one is 11 minutes away in a car, so it's closer in a car. It's also closer by walking, but distance-wise, it's a little longer. It's 5.5. So I digress. You won. You're right.
Just wanted to say hi to In the Basement because I've watched Lee Russell's live shows a couple of weeks in a row, and he seems to be always on. He's a really funny guy. I like watching him. Big fan.
No, he's an idiot. Fuck you, Chris. Fuck you.
Oh, so his name's Chris. See, I still don't know you guys well enough to know you by names. I know Rhino and Lee Russell because, I don't know, you guys are pretty well known in the community. But the other guys like Redbeard, I like to call him Spinach Chin. I don't know. Looks like spinach gin to me. And the other ones are not so well known to me. But In the Basement kind of cracked me up. I liked the way his demeanor was. Made me laugh a lot. He's the one divorcing his wife or something, I think.
Yeah, me and him are doing the exact same thing.
You're divorcing your wife? I'm
well,
11
she's divorcing
years.
me.
You know what's funny? I'm 11 years, but we're common law. And I think common law people never leave each other, but married people get divorced after like a 7-year shelf life.
We were together for 15 years and married for 11.
See, we're not married. We've been together 11 years and we're not getting married. I call her my wife because we pretty much live together and do everything, but we're never getting married. I find that marriage is the quickest way to divorce. Because I think it's that feeling of being trapped. It's that contract that tells you, like, the second you get married, you feel like you can't leave. But if you don't get married, you always feel like there's a way out. So you don't get scared. And the second people get married, they get pissed off and angry and they don't like each other anymore. And they just want to get the hell away from each other. So I don't know. I think long-term relationship is the best way to go.
So Al, me and you are going to go swimming at St. Charles Park right now with some beers? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? But yes, yeah, I don't know what I don't even know why I got married. I just did.
Well, if you love them, you love them. What I think I always found about women is that when men fall in love, we fall in love hard, and we're gonna cry and be like the most pathetic thing in the world. When women fall out of love, they become the meanest things ever on earth. That's all I noticed. Not trying to.
Who said you had to wear a Speedo? We can go naked. It's okay.
Sad face emoji.
But yeah, you're right. It does seem like that women seem to be the ones that can get out of it easier.
Oh yeah.
We're done.
Man, we're chill. Like it's funny. Like if we're gonna break up with a girl, we'll always say it's my fault. It's not you. I'm so sorry. Try to ease the pain. Women will be like, all right, I hate you. Get the fuck away from me. It's like done. Really, gotta go. Gotta go.
So since you do mostly whiskey reviews, what's your favorite whiskey?
My favorite whiskey of all time, number one. It's such a hard question. There's just so many different ones, but my favorite distillery, I can tell you. My favorite distillery is Springbank. Springbank, I love it because it's very, even though they were recently bought out and they're no longer independent, they still, when they did the contract, they said that we will produce so much whiskey a year. We will not make no age statements. We will not go below 46% alcohol. We will not chill filter our products. We will not put coloring in our products. And they did all the guidelines, and they're still family run, even though they're no longer independent. And they continue to produce quality product. And they continue to give a middle finger to the Scotch Whisky Association in Scotland, which has continuously made crap and less quality product year after year because all these hipsters that are just coming into the Scotch community in droves and buying up Macallan after Macallan and Ardbeg after Ardbeg that just keep on producing just horrible shit annually at overpriced, ridiculous, mental amounts. I don't know why anyone would spend $200+ on whiskey that has no age statement to it. So I tend to like Springbank because they stick to what whiskey's about. They put an age statement on all their products. They keep it above 45% alcohol. They don't add anything to it, and it's non-chill filtered. So I would say Springbank.
Yeah. See, for me, if I'm at the duty free, I'll buy Lagavulin 16, which is my favorite, but I won't buy it in Ontario at $130 a bottle. I just won't do it.
Well, now, the Lagavulin 16 to me is a very good Scotch for people who want to taste a high quality product and want to get into peat, because it is a high peated Scotch. And normally people will, when they're starting into peat, they got 4 options, because normally new Scotch owners don't really know Scotch, so they're going to go for either Bowmore, Lefroy, Lagavulin, or Ardbeg. So it's going to be those 4 because those are the ones that most people know. And I would say Lagavulin is the one for anyone to start off with because it's got a nice dry peat to it. It's not a medicinal peat. It's not a overly medical iodine kind of taste to it, but it has a nice, robust nose. So the Lagavulin 16 to me is a wonderful brand. At the LCBO, you guys are a little overpriced in comparison to us at the SAC. It's not that much of a difference, but we're like at $116 the SAC for the.
Yeah, see, and at duty free, it's about $55. So I'll buy it at duty free. I won't buy it anywhere else.
I agree with you. No, I agree.
And then if I'm buying something from here, truthfully, for just value for money, because it's only like a $27.26, it's probably it'd probably be 40 Creek copper kettle, even though it's not actually made the way they say it is. But hey,
well, I like the Lot 40 when it comes to Canadian whiskey. Lot 40 to me, $40. Even here's one I love, and it's so cheap. It's dirt cheap, and I love this stuff. And people like laugh because I've been drinking whiskey forever, but I love this stuff. Canadian Club 100% Rye Select, Chairman's Edition, $26. Beautiful. Even though it's 40% alcohol, affordable to anybody. Just good stuff. There are some good Canadian whiskeys out there. Yeah, the rye has become kind of, I don't want to use a snooty term, but like a la mode. It's been kind of resurgence. So prices are going up a bit, which I'm not a fan of, because honestly, you could get 30-year-old rye in Canada for $60, and now they're trying to charge you like $200 for it. But don't do it. You know, just look around. You'll find your ryes at like $60 to maximum $80, even 25, 30-year-old rye. Rye should never be sold above $100. It's not that expensive to make, but it's starting to go up a little.
Well, you'll notice as well, like there's a lot of new craft distilleries opening up, and when they actually finally get to the point where they can throw that age statement on and call it actual rye and everything, their bottles are like $120 a piece, and I'm sitting there going, this is no better than the $30 bottle I could buy at the LCBO, and it's only because I'm supporting you that it's that much money, because you just don't have the volume, you don't have this capacity, so your amount is gigantic, and it's kind of stupid because they are at a disadvantage just because of that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like Coupe Vissou, you guys are beer tubers, you'll know Coupe Vissou. They do like some really good beers in Quebec. And they're a smaller micro brewery, and their products are a little higher up. Instead of your regular $2 to $3 beer, you're going to pay $5 per beer. But at the same time, you do taste the quality and the understanding of what's in it. So to me, when it's like a micro distiller, like I don't really know a micro distillery when it comes to rye in Canada. I do know a lot in the States. Like there's one that I really like Koval from Chicago, and also Pew makes FEW with like the 2 dots in the middle. It's kind of like a suffragette kind of thing like that they put on there. Those are like artisan ryes. I have no problem paying a little bit of a premium for them, because you are supporting kind of a quality product. And normally when it's artisan, they will bring up the ABV. They won't chill filter their product, and they won't add coloring to it. So there's reasons why sometimes it can be a little higher up in price, because they're not cutting back. They're not bringing it to a 40 percentile and adding more water to a product, and they're keeping kind of the essential spirit and the fats and the amino acids and whatever that was actually in there. They're keeping Scotch the way it is, and they're letting the mist in there and everything. And you know, I kind of like that. So it's a more expensive way of producing it. So I kind of understand why that they're charging a little more. You know, unlike let's say a large conglomerate like Lefroy or Macallan's or Diageo Group or any of the other larger corporations that are Centauri and Beam, that are just mass producing millions of barrels of product and then charging you like $200. I don't know. Sorry, I go off on a tangent when it comes to whiskey.
Oh, that's fine. I am going to be back in like 30 seconds, so the room is yours for right now. I need to go grab a beer.
Well, hey everybody, my name is Swan Swab. I got a channel on YouTube called Montreal. If you guys don't know who I am, it's a smaller channel. I review whiskey, scotches, ryes. I want to appreciate that Albino Rhino has me on his show tonight. If any of you guys are ready to watch the fight. It is 9:17. The fight will be coming on shortly. I don't know, actually. I think it may be actually at 11. So I'm going to just read some of the comments out there. I've got Almighty OHM saying sad face emoji. I have legal limitations imposed. Blah, blah, blah. In the basement goes, gotta go. I'll be back later. Take it easy. Then we got Brad Jansen. Have you had any liquor from Dixon Guelph? They made whiskey. I live only had their gin. No, I haven't had anything from Dixon Guelph. I don't know if you're talking about Albino or myself. Almighty OHM writes economy scale and consumers' willingness to pay a premium. Fight with the greed, marketing premiums required to get with the market and consumers' view. Okay, so Almighty kind of agrees with me. All right, that's all I got for that call. I read your comments for you. I gotta take a leak too now. I'll be right back.
Alrighty. For those of you that are aware of this inside joke, I brought a pickle to clear my palate before I drink my beer. I've only had when I was at Dixon's. I had their flavored moonshine before they actually really started making things.
Hey, Albino.
You don't want to know where the pickle was prior, Al. Just don't ask.
What was the pickle prior? Yeah, so Albino, I'd love to thank you, man, for having me on your show tonight, my friend. And anytime you want to come on my channel, I would love it. You would literally be an honored guest on my show.
Well, thank you for joining me, man.
All right. I got to take off because the fight is going to start. And even though it is two idiots, I really want to watch them bash the crap out of each other.
Alrighty, sir. You have fun.
Have a good night.
You too.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay, guys, what am I going to do now? What are we going to do now? It's just me, Brad, and Al again? Whatever shall we do? Anyone out there want to join in? Anyone want to come in and chat? We're open. We're open. The doors are open if you want to come and chat. Oh, fuck. If you're anywhere near the Niagara area, the doors are open if you want to come and drink or go somewhere and drink. I need to do something. I'm losing my mind. Unfortunately, Brad, I am drinking very, very shitty Canadian brewed Land Shark because that's all that's left in the house right now that I haven't reviewed. Yeah, because unless somebody drives me to the LCBO or the beer store, I don't really bring stuff home anymore because both of them are far enough away that I'm not carrying beer that far. I don't need beer that much. If I'm out of beer, I'm out of beer. But I bought 2 2.4s and a 15-pack about 3 weeks ago, and you know, people come over and hang out every once in a while, and we just have beer in the house that way. And I'm down to the last like 6 Land Sharks, and everything else was drank because everything else was better than Land Shark. And I bought the Land Shark because I had it in the U.S. and I didn't mind it in the U.S. I'm like, oh, it's kind of watery. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. And then I bought it here, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't just watery. This has a flavor, and it's not a good one. And now I'm stuck with them. Who's Facebook messaging me now? Okay, it's Chris asking me questions. Okay, we're good. Speedos, show tunes, and beer is the trifecta of the Old Testament. I actually own a few Speedos because me and the guys being the cantankerous cook, the bag of derp, and the man-child, we're going to do a remake of Sexy and I Know It with us wearing the Speedos. And then people didn't want to deal with that, and it got canceled. But we thought it was going to be great. You know, a bunch of tattooed fat guys and hairy tattooed fat guys dancing around in the Speedos. Shaking our thang. What's this question? His question is, have you ever listened to an AC/DC album in its entirety? Actually, I don't know if you guys have, but yes, I have the Back in Black. But I've never listened to any other AC/DC album in its entirety. Large Pale Irishman should own multiple Speedos. And yeah, like large pale Irishmen who are also albino should own a bunch of. I'm having trouble finding a photographer, Brad. I keep making fun that Chris should be the photographer in the basement. I have talked a little bit to Lady Luck Pinups because she doesn't mind doing that type of photo. But Chris is really, really bothered by the idea of doing the photos. And I said, well, if you're not doing the photos, you're going to be in the calendar, which also made him bothered. And he's like, well, I don't want to get naked for a photo. I'm like, well, you have something in front of your junk. It's not like you're waving around your Polish sausage. You still have something there. It's just, what are we going to put in front of your junk? That's the question. Maybe somebody's head, maybe a growler, maybe you never know what's going to be there. Use a can over and cut the top off of a can and have the can on there. You don't know what you're going to do. I have plans. I just need enough people that want to do it. And if we don't get enough people, we might have some months that are doubled up, or somebody might be in it more than once. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. What do we have going on here? We have Chris's response was, I tried Highway to Hell. It stinks. If I was in the record industry, I'd ask the band to leave so I can listen to the fridge buzz. Okay. I need a sight-impaired photographer for the safety and psyche, or do it in pairs. And a menage a trois, perhaps. Yeah, I thought about that too. But you know what? You don't realize how many of your friends who have been naked around you or seen you naked before are scared to be naked around you or see you naked when a camera's around. I think they're worried they're going to get attracted to me. No. So I still can't believe I still have this football jersey, first off, because I was 19 the last time I wore this jersey, and I'm now 35. So to do the math, this is an old shirt. It's an old jersey. The numbers are still on it, just barely. I remember I was standing in front of my locker. I had my uniform on still. Like I still had all the equipment on, my shoulder pads and all that. I was carrying my helmet. I was going to throw it all in the locker. And one of the girls that used to watch our games stood there, and she's like, Chad, what number are you? I look at her because I'm wearing my uniform, right? And I'm like, huh? Oh, 44. Yeah. Dumbass. Found out I could have slept with her if I didn't call her a dumbass, but she was too dumb for me to sleep with, so it was okay. Back then was when women found me hot and I could actually get with them. Oh, excuse me. What do we have here? In the calendar, for all that is holy, only the calendar. I can guess camera is not that bad. Just kidding. Okay. Yeah. What do we got here? Okay. AC/DC is a hit song band, not a album band. I could actually probably agree with that. If you went through all of AC/DC's discography, you could probably put together one or two discs of really good songs and then have a whole bunch to just throw away. Oh, I hope you guys didn't hear that. I did fart. Oh, again. Oh, yeah. You know what I should have done when I ate the pickle? I should have ate the pickle wearing this. 1 second, guys. I should have ate the pickle with this on. That may have given it away better. Given away what I was doing better. Here we go. So next time I do a pickle on camera, this is what I'm going to do. I'm gonna be like, hey guys, I got a pickle to clear my palate. There we go. If you're wondering why I have a very large dog collar with spikes on it in my room, it's I bought it ahead of time for when my boxer is fully grown, but it doesn't look like his neck is going to be the proper size. I mean, this is supposedly the proper size for a boxer's neck, but I don't think he's going to grow into it. However, I do have a German Shepherd Mastiff, so it might still be okay. Just she's black and the collar's black, so it might not look good, but we'll see. Excuse me. Ooh, I don't like burping on camera. Sorry. It's not gay if you guys are getting paid for it, right? It's not gay anyway. Not gay anyway. Ooh, another land shark. I feel good. So there's 5 of you now. Come on, guys, talk to me. Don't just leave Brad and Al talking to me. And neither Brad or Al want to join me because they're both too good for me. I'm a little hurt. I'm a little hurt, guys. Little hurt. It does hurt my feelings a little bit that nobody wants to come and talk. It does. I won't lie. Reggae is my latest love. You know, there was I can't even remember the name of it now, but I remember back when I was in high school, there was like a reggae punk band, and it was actually pretty damn cool to listen to. I can't remember it though. I know I have a. You don't have a mic or a camera. A mic costs $4. $4. $4. After I get back to work and things start rolling, if things work out, I'm gonna have to get a new computer so I can start streaming gaming again, or I'll bring all the video game stuff up here and I'll start streaming from the living room. And if that's what I end up doing, that's what I end up doing. But then I would just use this computer and bring it out there, because I have a laptop, but it's not at all strong enough to do the streaming, and I want to start streaming again. I want to stream a bunch of different video games. I mean, I'm not good at video games, but it's fun to do. You're not a tuber. You don't need to be a tuber. You don't need to be a tuber. You obviously have a YouTube account, so all you need is a microphone. Speedo could be what you wear or not. It's okay. I'm not wearing a Speedo right now. I'm actually not wearing any underwear at the moment, but I am wearing a pair of shorts because I have to bring my dogs out here and there. So you can't have that without something on. Yeah, like I have a HP Stream downstairs, which is one of those laptops that's just made to stream on the internet apparently, but it fucking sucks at streaming on the internet because it doesn't have enough RAM to stream on the internet properly, and it crashes very easily. Even running fucking Google Hangouts is too much sometimes. Oh, 1 second, guys, you're on your own for just a second. All right, sorry about that, guys. Sorry. Hopefully you were able to tell me what was that ringtone. What was that ringtone? I know you had silence for a bit. I do apologize. But yeah. So did you recognize that ringtone? Somebody is on their way over, so I'm going to be on here for another 10 minutes or so. I do have to get off before he gets here so I can change the shirt because it's a disgusting shirt. Disgusting shirt. Really, it's only disgusting because it doesn't fit whatsoever. And I'm actually amazed that nobody's texted me so far tonight. So Kendra recognized it there, Brad. When it goes off when I'm places, people look at me like I'm crazy. They don't actually recognize it, so it's kind of funny to me. Excuse me. I had a whole bunch of different. I had a whole bunch of different notification sounds. Since nobody's actually texted me tonight, so you didn't get to hear it. This is what I actually use. Is this? And I mean that is really creepy when somebody texts you at 6:30 in the morning and you're half asleep. Really creepy when that happens. I have a whole bunch of stuff on here that I like using. I mean, I've used this before, but it's not loud enough for me to hear. And then you have, Rick and Morty. That one's good, except for when you're in like your lawyer's office and somebody contacts you.
You can run, but you can't hide, bitch.
See, I like that one, but I can't have swearing. I can't have swearing because, you never know when my kids are around or...
I'm Pickle
Rick! There's just so many good sounds out there. Here, can you recognize this? What's that from? I'm sure you know that. Come on. How about that one? Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I'm bored out of my mind. At least somebody's coming over, so I'm not as bored. But it is what it is. I need to change. I need to change. So you know what it is, Brad, but she doesn't. She just recognizes it somehow. I actually have it in 8-bit as well instead of on high def. So maybe if I played it on 8-bit, she would recognize it. So there you go. She had it in 8-bit. Maybe she can figure it out there. You guys saddened me that you didn't know that. It saddened me. You're of the right age. You should have known that. You should have known that. I'm still saddened. I'm saddened that you didn't know it, sir. Saddened. Very, very saddened. Okay, as soon as I'm done this beer, as soon as I'm done that beer, we're going offline. I have like 2 sips left. Maybe 1. Everybody's Zelda guys. Don't lie. You're a Zelda guy. You are. Everybody's a Zelda guy. You can't not be a Zelda guy when you're of our ages. Do 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 do. Excuse me. Yeah. So I'm gonna go get changed. My beer's out. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. Anytime I do random other than BDU hangouts, you're all welcome to join. You just need a microphone. That's all you need. So it's not like it's a hard thing to join. Again, when we're not doing BDU, which is on Wednesday nights, we're just going to chat about anything. It's always fun to have you guys around. Sometimes we'll talk about mental health. Sometimes we'll talk about what's going on with me right now. Sometimes we'll talk about who knows what. But it is what it is. Thank you guys for joining. And yeah. Bye-bye.